Your girl got new lipstick. Your girl got new lipstick. I'm trying to get my car to heat up before we attack this day. I've had a very freeing weekend. Number one, we had a lot of personal enlightenment. Number two, we drank a lot of alcohol with the girls. Number three, I have this new lipstick. And number four, I found a new artist that made me feel like a bad bitch. And thus we begin this Monday with ferocity. I just want to take a little minute to number one say that in my writing, in my personal journaling, and a lot of research, especially, the last day of Black History Month, I spent a lot of personal time investigating, what again does biracial identity mean to me? Because it's always evolving, and that's the huge inspiration for this book. So I promise this is on topic. But let's take a second. I read this amazing thing that was very empowering that said, from a biracial woman of Black and white background, my identity has never been in my hands. It's a social construct, but my identity has never and will never be in my control. It has always been determined by someone else. And it's fluid, baby. I will never be able to say that I'm Black enough and everybody in the room agree, because everybody in the room has had different experiences in their life that color the way they view others. Their definitions are all different, and none of them are wrong. So I can write an entire book seeking validation about I am Black and I am white. And it doesn't matter because there's someone who's not going to agree. It doesn't matter. Because everybody views it differently, and it's not in our control, and it doesn't matter. That's so freeing that I don't know. Like the validation chase has literally been my life. And I just kind of feel like a new woman. So much so that I have actually reframed a lot of this story in the same vein of everybody disagrees and everybody agrees, and it doesn't matter. A lot of my story has shifted to be what makes a good person and what makes a hero. Because it turns out every person's hero is someone else's enemy. My hero is someone's villain. Have you thought about that? There's someone that in their bones can't stand the people that you admire most. Isn't that weird? And it's not like I'm writing a book about Confederate heroes or anything, but that's somebody's hero. And people disagree on what a hero even is. And it's a very complicated topic that I am looking forward to exploring on a more personal and literary level. So with that, and the new lipstick, we're gonna go to Starbucks, and then we're gonna go to work. Hey guys, it's Editing Phoebes here, and I realize it's been about 3 weeks since I recorded that video, and I still have just a little bit more context. So I recorded that clip on International Women's Day, hence the lipstick and the hair and the ferocity. I was just really feeling myself, and that's so good. I had also spent the last week of Black History Month really giving myself time to reflect, research, and expand on what it means to be Black biracial for me, because it's kind of new to me, giving myself permission to not be in a bubble. And as impactful as some of these video essays that I've been watching have been, of course with other articles and things, but as impactful as some of these video essays have been, obviously I need to share some clips. Because if you are also a biracial person or a person of color that is watching this video and pursuing your creative endeavors, trying to find where your voice belongs in all of this, I'm really hoping that some of these women's comments make you feel as seen as I did.
However, not a lot of people are in my position in the way that I don't really belong in either world fully. The way the world works, I tend to get pushed into the Black category, which I'm fine with. But when people who are Black push me out of that category, it kind of just makes me, it's just kind of okay, where am I supposed to go? Because there's not so many of us that we can have our own thing going. You know what I mean? And I made a TikTok responding to it that I'll probably put right here. My identity has never been in my hands. I always think it's so funny when people come in my comments saying, you should identify as biracial. My identity has never been in my hands, and you right there just made it very clear. People will call me black or mixed. I am never the one who gets to define how people see me. People will always see me differently depending on their experiences. A lot of light skins who are full black look like me. Sometimes I identify as mixed and biracial. Sometimes I identify as black. I think it's a both and situation. My experiences are more similar to a black woman than a white woman, and a lot of people don't recognize biracial as a valid identity. So I'm gonna go with black and biracial.
And language changes and evolves, yes, but we all have a personal history with language. What means something to me and how that meaning manifests in my life and how I view it and how I interact with other people with it is gonna be through my perception, just like yours will be through yours. Now, with the word racist, I know there are a couple of different definitions of racist, and there have been policies in government based on racism or based on these different definitions of racism, which is why we keep bringing up these pesky systems of oppression that y'all are like, what? But even with clear definitions of what racism is, each of us carries our own personal history and internal context of what that word means and how that word makes us feel.
My racial identity doesn't come in a neat package because neither does race, right? Like, our idea of what race is comes from mostly two things: how we look and what kind of culture we grew up in. And how I look is kind of a minefield. It's, what are you? It's a lot of people being very bold and specific in their wrongness. But of course, I'm racially ambiguous, so they have to put me in some kind of category to understand me. It doesn't really matter to them which one. But whatever people see me as, they don't see me or treat me as if I'm white. Like, I may get called the wrong racial slur on the sidewalk, but I'm not walking down the sidewalk never having heard a racial slur, you know? My phenotype doesn't tell a simple story, so black is the answer to what are you? Black is the box I check on the form, because if you're just trying to figure out what kind of not white I am so you don't actually have to get to know me, that's the information you're looking for.
So I think, like, for me, woman of color is just like this powerful, like, beautiful way of describing myself. But within that, I'm a black woman.
I don't know, they're just all really powerful women. I will link all of their channels. I'm also feeling very powerful today because I shared my story with a friend who leans very ignorant in their thinking in terms of race. But I finally told them that I'm writing this book, and it was very well received. I gave a short pitch, and she was like, I'm very proud of you, and I can't wait to see what you say because I have a lot of learning to do. And bro, I cried on her couch when she said that. So yeah, this is me giving my biracial friends in the creator space and followers and readers and friends grace. Like, this is your life too. And this is your validation that you are enough. I'm writing an entire book for you. I'm writing an entire book for me. It's a reminder that our biracial identity is absolutely, like, enough. Whew! Why don't we just take it on into the comments respectfully. If any of this resonated with you, because I kind of have felt on top of the world the last month. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please drop a purple heart emoji this time. That way YouTube knows that I'm not the most boring person on YouTube. That would be so great. And like and subscribe. I am actually pursuing author life. I have written a young adult contemporary novel that I've been calling In Mixed Company with a pursuit of traditional publishing. And it very much centers a biracial young man who's pursuing finding his voice amid his community's complete and total unraveling. So, yeah, if you're new to the channel, definitely scope out the other videos, suss out the vibe, comment on the ones you think are cool. So I know if you like to follow along as an author as she suffers through not only her biracial identity crisis, but also her pursuit to publication. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.